Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today we have another cleaning video. In this case it's going to be a light clean, I think, and it's a Italian 1855 sabre. So actually pre-Italian in the case of the 1855 because, well, it's pre-unification, but geographically it's Italian. It's going to be a light clean because, well, as you can see, it's not in horrible condition. Actually, it's in quite nice condition. It doesn't have any real rust or anything. It has a bunch of stains from old oil, I think, and yeah, and just a bunch of dirt. But it's also going to be a light clean because it has some really nice decorations, which we'll look at in just a second. And so I don't want to damage those. So it's going to be just a quick polish. But I think it's always nice to see the switch between auction house condition, let's say, and first clean. So we're going to dive into that right away. So let's get to the usual process of cleaning. And I'll just take advantage of this sword here specifically, just to mention why I'm usually quite comfortable touching swords, at least the not really antique ones, I suppose. Well, the definition of really antique is very subjective, but still. And the reason is that lots of times, if you've been at antique stores or auction houses, if we're not talking about like really dedicated merchants, like people who really treat their swords and they'll maybe only handle them with gloves, they're being handled all the time. They get these oily fingerprints everywhere. And moreover, you might have leftovers of stickers, as you can see here, from old collections. This isn't even saying the auction houses do it themselves, but you'll find all kinds of remnants. Sometimes you have numbers written in Sharpie on the blade. So yeah, and I mean, in some cases, what's written on the blade may be part of the collection in the sense that you may want to keep it as it's part of the cataloging system of a museum or something. But that's not always the case. Sometimes that number doesn't really mean anything. It's just a Sharpie thing added 20 or 30 years ago or less. So at least in the intake phase and when I'm cleaning them up or showing them on video, I'm really not that concerned because most of the swords don't come to the collector in a kind of perfectly preserved state where everyone is, you know, treating them properly, not touching them or not leaving oils or anything. So as long as it's here before the cleaning phase and while I'm showing it, I'm quite comfortable touching them. Anyway, let's get into the cleaning phase. We'll be kind of delicate here because there's, yeah, we'll see it maybe when it's clean, but actually, let's check it out right now. You have some really cool decoration on the blade. You can see a grenade here with two cannons. Mottos, this is win or die. There's a portrait of someone, I'm not sure who that is. And then decoration go up to about half blade. On the other side we have equally beautiful decorations, a little bit different. So here actually the portrait is that of the king. He's a very recognizable guy because of that very characteristic facial hair style. And in fact, you also have a Viva il Re, that's long live the king. So yeah, so I want to be a little bit careful here. We're not going to go to town with rubbing or autosol or abrasive parts of the sponge or anything. So the first thing I'm going to do here is oil it up and just kind of rub it and see what happens. And this sword doesn't really have any rust or anything, so I don't think it's going to require a whole lot of work to get it clean. But you can see, especially here, before I actually get into the oil part, here it's actually, there's a little bit of rust, and so a little bit of work is needed. It's not just that I enjoy cleaning swords. So anyway, we'll oil it, let that act a little on these residues of paper and glue. And then here on the other side too, we'll make sure it's nice and oiled all the way up. Okay, Okay, so I'll let that soften the glue here a little bit, and then I'll get back to you in just a moment with the next phase. Okay, so I tested with a little bit of autosol. I started taking the stickers off. You can see there's still a bit of residue there, but most of them came off here. I tested a little bit of autosol here, and as you can see, it's not causing any damage. So I'm not going crazy with it in this case. You can see there's just a little smear of autosol. I'm just gonna gently run it along the blade like this and just let it kind of take off any of the really stubborn dirt. Maybe soften the glue a little. But also the sword actually has a really lovely sheen to it. Has a very beautiful patination, I think. So I really don't want to remove that. So what we want to do is just kind of make sure old oil is off and that we can appreciate the decoration and the engravings or etchings perhaps. So here around the tip, okay, it's not in frame. Here I can feel it's a little more, I can feel a little more friction, so that's where there's like a little more. But as you can see, I'm going really slowly here. I'm not trying to remove anything really. And I think that's probably all we need to do. There are a couple of corrosion spots actually here, so. But again, this is just part of the blade by now and its history, so we won't really touch that. Okay, I'll remove the autosol with the sponge here. And I think we're at a very good, we're in a very good position here. So what I'm not going to do is remove any more of anything because this, I think this staining, this kind of stuff here you see is old oil, but it's not, what you had before was actually, you could feel the smear of old oil on it. So that was something I wanted to remove. But now if it's just like the light color of old oil here, a little bit yellowy, I really don't mind that at all. So we'll just get the blade clean. I didn't even really go under the languets or anything because since there's no rust or damage, there's no need to overdo it there. But what I'm gonna have to do here is work a little to remove these sticker marks in the glue. So I'll do that and then come back to you in just a second. So on closer inspection, I noticed that the decorations on the blade are actually so beautiful and I think very refined and lovely, and that yellowish residue of oil really wasn't doing that any favors, and it was actually covering it and making it really not fully able to be appreciated. And so I decided to clean it a little, just a little more. So if you look at it now, it's not oiled now, but you'll see the yellow sheen is mostly removed, so all that old oil residue is mostly gone. Of course, again, I didn't go too heavy on it. You can see it still has its signs of age and everything, but that yellow stain really was very unbecoming of a beautiful blade. So now we'll oil it up and I'll show you why I decided to do that, because I think it's really a beautiful bit of decoration. So here we go. Let's see if it comes too light. Let's start with a bit of oil here. Okay, first I'll oil up the whole blade and then we'll take a close look. I think now you can really see look how beautiful the grenade. And so this actually looks like, it's really, no, it's more than, I mentioned etching before, but this seems more like an engraving. You see the grenade with the two cannons, you see the motto, Vincere o Morire. You can see this beautiful, look how detailed this portrait is. And then you can go up and there's the Savoia family crest with the crown and some more beautiful decorations up here. This is perhaps a royal monogram or something. I have to check it out a little better. And here again on the other side, what popped out, the reason why I removed that yellow sheen was this guy. He was kind of not really visible before. And look how beautiful he is there. Yeah. And then we have the portrait of the king there. Very expressive, I would say. Yeah, so overall, 5 minutes of work, I think maybe, well, let's say 15 minutes of work, really realistically. Time flies when you're having fun. But yeah, this 1855, I think, is really improved. Let me know what you think, and of course, we'll take a deeper dive into the 1855 as a sword model in a coming video. So thank you for watching. See you soon. Bye.